So this is Dartora. Today I'm going to work on my house build for the 7 Dwarfs and for the Disney Challenge. Right now I'm just building the frame. I'm trying to get everything adjusted. I kind of have a little bit of trouble with it. I couldn't decide how I wanted it. I don't know what I was thinking there. I guess I thought, well, if I do that, I could fit the fireplace in somehow. And then I just ended up getting rid of it completely and went with a fireplace all its own like that because it just, I don't know, looked better. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to do the porch. In the picture, it looked like there's a gap, but then in Sims, it's it just makes it look really weird when you try to put a gap there. It's too big of a gap. You just need like a small one. Then I kind of adjusted that room because it took me a while to figure it out. I placed it, put it back, and obviously the end product's going to look great, but right now it's just kind of readjusting several times. And then I think in my I think I have 2 parts. This is the first part. So like in the second part, I get everything done, and then in the gameplay you'll see me adjust adjust it again because they're not using, and they still don't really, because I don't guess I set it as a front door or something, so that everybody comes around the back, but they can access the front. I had to put stairs or something there, so anyways, right now I'm trying to adjust for the stairs. Because, I thought I had had it where I liked it. And then, I don't know, just adjusting everything. I had issues because I wanted that. There's going to be a part where I want it, open right here. I was like, okay, we can do this as a room of its own. And then just delete everything else because I want it open. But yeah, and then that takes a while to adjust because the lighting is weird. I think I end up putting lights in, and then the closet, it's not really a closet. I think it's supposed to be for food and stuff, so I put a fridge. But anyways, that little open spot downstairs doesn't look like it has a roof, and I ended up just giving up on it, leaving it because there's a roof there. It's just, for some reason, when you take that floor down, I don't know, it disappears or something. I do end up opening that whole space because I need it for 8 people, so that's what I end up doing there. I do expand the house a little bit in the back because I realized, my Snow White needed a bed and she needed some room for that. So I end up having to make it a little bit bigger. And then here I'm trying to just look for items that I might possibly need. So I'm just going to set those out on the ground. I think I'm still trying to decide. Oh, I was also trying to look for a hutch because in the film they have one, and so I was like, okay, I want to try a hutch because I wanted to try as closely as possible to make it look like the one. I watched the film over and over and over to try to figure out where things were placed and just try to, because there's no, in the pictures, there's no inside of the house. So you kind of have to watch the film several times just to get a grasp on it. But I think in the end, it's close enough. There might be some doors or something where it's kind of like, I don't know what it was meant for in the film, extra space or something. I don't know. They have like a lot of stuff under their stairs. I end up putting stuff underneath and just try to make it look grungy. And then I think that's what I'll do in like the second film, is like I start placing all that stuff, and then in gameplay I have to get rid of a lot of that because, well, no, gameplay, I think I did it off camera. I had to get rid of a lot of things because I wanted to check and make sure the house worked. So that some of that stuff may not actually be, I may have not recorded a lot of that, but because I end up placing, I think in the second video of the house build, I put like stuff on the floor, and it looks really good. It's just no one can really access it for some reason. I thought it was, the little wet spots or whatever that came with Strangerville. I thought you could use it as like a rug and they could walk on it, but I guess it's not set up that way. And so they don't, or maybe it's supposed to be that way and it's messed up. I don't know. It just didn't work. But I don't like how I placed the windows in the build, but that's how they were in the film, so it's like annoying for me because I like to place windows everywhere. But I was trying to place windows kind of where they were in the picture I was using and then where they were in the film. So I don't think the house has a second floor because of the way the house is built in like the drawing and stuff. It's a roof that's open with like pillars coming down, and we can't do that in Sims, so we have to do like a second floor, so it's a little bit bigger than it probably should be, but that's the only way I could kind of make it look that way. And then the windows would be on one level, but it's actually on a second, there's nothing on the second level. I think I ended up putting a roof or something there to try to hide some of that. But I wanted it to look close, and so that's why I did the second floor. And now I'm just trying to decorate. I wanted some cabinetry because they do have some, but because it's such a weird shaped kitchen, I had some trouble with that, trying to figure out how to design it. And then in the, there was that one hutch, they had it right by the door, but there's no way to do that in The Sims. So I think I changed that up a few times to make it a little bit shorter. I mean, that window is where I probably should have done an open window, to be honest, because that's where the evil queen comes up and gives her the apple, and she's making a apple pie for Grumpy, and so it's like, that's the window. I should have done an open one, but I didn't think about it. But I don't know, I like the way it ends up coming out. I don't think I quite finish completely. Right now it's just trying to figure out how to do the outside. I think I try to put my own little spin on the sides because you can't really see them very well. So I was like, okay, well, that one corner is how I ended up doing the other corners, and I ended up pulling that part where I stuck that out some more, and so it looks better. Right now it is driving me nuts. I don't like the rock, and I end up just making that one whole side the same. And then there I was like, okay, there's this green roof looking thing, and I was like, I kind of like that better. Yeah, I ended up getting rid of the roof, and I think I put it up on a different, I think I put it up a little bit higher, So that, yeah, the way I have that, I think I end up moving that roof up, actually. And then what I do, because there's a green part that looks like a tree overgrown, and I don't know, it just looks better. So that's what I end up doing. But yeah, I play around with the paint for a good while because I don't know, I just couldn't get the right paint the way I wanted it. I was like, I like the darker color here. I wanted it to look like wood, but I wanted it to be a little bit darker because it looked like that in the picture. I think later on in gameplay, I put those lights in the room and then they can't access it. So I had to get rid of some of those. I wanted a roof there. I thought, I could do like the grass with the green tree looking thing with the roof. And I leave the roof there, but I end up putting stuff on top to make it pop a little bit more. Yeah, there. I also found those little things, and I thought, okay, that looks like it goes perfect. It looks like they put logs on there, which is kind of in the picture I was using. I do get rid of some because I put like a whole bunch on that one side. So I get it rid of. I try to even them out, make it. Yeah, that looks like so much better. I thought I went all the way down, but maybe not on the paint. But yeah, I do move the windows up. I think I add windows. Right now, I'm just like... Because I was like, I want the back to look kind of like the front. And so, I go to do that. Yeah, see, I ended up moving that window up because I'm like, I kind of like the way that is. And then I'm like, okay, the back needs a window. So then, yeah, I go and add it. This is where I'm trying to figure out how to make that tree. There's even a tree, I think, in Sims that would be perfect, but I just couldn't get it to fit right because it would clip into the wall and stuff, and I didn't like that, so... And here, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I was trying to decide if I wanted to use that or not. In the film, I think I shortened the porch because right there is a fence where the trash is. I rotated around a few times too. Yeah, this is where I'm like, okay, let's get rid of the I do it several times. And then I wanted that further back, and then the trash, it does work. It's kind of cute how that is. And then I think I end up placing like a tree and a couple of bushes. I don't know. So far it doesn't look too bad. I think I pull it back because I wanted... In the film they have a river, and so it's like I wanted to place it... I will say trying to do a circular kind of shape, a little hard. I wanted to rotate that because I was like, I like the way it is. When I try to do it the opposite way, it doesn't quite come out quite as... Yeah, see, and then I think I added like a little bit there, and it's not quite even, but I just give up on it. I'm like, okay, I'm moving on. But I think overall it turned out fine. The little round part, I put like rocks and stuff. I do put some waterfall because in the film they have like this little mini waterfall. It's like part of the creek where the water kind of comes over the rocks, and so I try to place that in there because I like the way that looked. So I kind of make it a little bit smaller. I do raise the ground up a little bit, trying to hide make it look a little more like a bank would, because I think there is a little bit of that. But I added a lot of earth tones, and then because it is like a little creek, I wanted the walls to be kind of rock or dirt or something. And then I make the floor dirt as well, and then I add like rocks and stuff. Like here I was like, okay, we'll add a little bit of rock, and then the bottom we'll add some dirt, just to try to make it look as natural as possible. I mean, I think it would have looked maybe better with a little more like brown. I don't know. I add rocks. I add some foliage and stuff. And then like the little I like to add the steam and bubble things because the water, a little bit of steam here or there looks kind of nice, and then the bubbles kind of make it look like the water's running a little bit. So it's always nice. But I always like to take that and then combine like the fountain stuff too, because then I don't know, it just looks pretty. Or make my own little fountain with all the items, But yeah, here I'm just adding everything. Unfortunately, I don't know how to go about adding fish. It would be cool to have like maybe that's debug or something where you can add like real fish, because it would be cool if you could go, like, you can swim in it because it's technically a pool, but it'd be cool if you could also use it as like a fishing spot. I think that'd be cool. I probably should have gone in debug and part of the pool maybe I think there is a little pond you can get, and I should have added it now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't know, it turns out okay. I do get rid right here. I add like a whole bunch of grass, and I think, I leave those like that, but I was like, I don't like all the white because that just looks weird, and so I add a whole bunch of grass. You'll see here in a minute. And then when I turn the camera, it just looks horrible. And I'm just like, okay, too many other... I mean, honestly, the ripples... I mean, I think when I end up getting rid of them, in-game, it looks nice, but it could use a few more. But here, I got rid of, that's where I put a whole bunch of them. And I think it isn't until, like, the second part where I actually take them and get rid of them, because I get to looking, I'm like, okay, well, that needs to be fixed. There's too much of that there, but I like to think, you got your when you're by a creek, you have a lot of stuff grown up, and you got some trees with some branches kind of growing up from the bottom. So I thought that was kind of neat how those look. I mean, I know it's vines or something. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of... It looks really cool. And then I place a tree there, so... And I think I end up in gameplay at some point having to get rid of something because there's like this storm, and Happy gets like stuck in some of the grass, and so I have to get rid of some of the grass kind of where the mailbox is, because somewhere between there he's able to go into the pool, but somehow he can't get out because he gets stuck. So that's like later in the episodes. Right here I'm like, I want it to be lit up, but I didn't like how any of those looked. I was like, maybe it needs to look more like a bridge with light, and I was like, those look so perfect, one on each end, boom, and then they're light. so they can see it. I mean, I wish there was something a little more, I don't know, I really like that fence, and I wish there was something that's similar but with lights. I think, the same thing as that, maybe with vines coming up or something, that looks a little bit nicer or something. I do think I move the tree out just a little bit more, because I realize it's clipping in. Most of the trees are pretty good right here, and then when you go to rotate the camera or anything, it works. I know my build with the Snow White house, I had to, in gameplay, it looks really nice, but then in gameplay, it's really hard to rotate the camera without the trees clip. They clip, well, they don't really clip into the house. They're just in the way, and so I have to shrink them down. This lot's a little bit bigger, I guess, and so rotating it isn't too bad. So the trees aren't in the way. I don't have to do anything with them. It's just that one, and then when I go to, I do place, like, I think grass or a bush or something on there later, and it clips in as I have to get rid of it, and I think I end up getting a different, like that bush that I just placed, I try that, but it just clips in too much. So the big long one, I go and I actually use that. Like here I'm trying to do those look like they could work. It's just like this one side, when I go to rotate, it just doesn't, I didn't like the way it looked. And then I was like, oh, this tree looks like it'd be perfect. I go and I try for that. I'm like, okay, this could totally work. It's like it, I make it big, right? I have it turned just right. Looks like it grew up into the porch or something. It looked perfect, but problem is it clips so bad into the wall. And see here I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Let me shrink it down. I'll raise it up a little bit. And I was like, okay, I can do that. But I was like, later on, I was like, I'll just put a bush in front of it. Have the bench there. And then I was like, that bush looks perfect. It kind of hides the fact that the trees, I wanted it to look like it kind of grew up into the thing. And so here I'm like, oh, it's so perfect. The problem is it clips in so bad in the upstairs room that I can't place a bed or anything, so I had to remove it and try for something else. And I think I'm not sure if I move everything back again. Yeah, this is where I haven't opened that up yet. I don't know if that's until like the second episode or not. I was like, ooh, the bottom can stay open. That's probably how it is in the show. I don't know. It's just with them being dwarves, they can sleep in smaller beds. In Sims, they're not. And so it's kind of, here I'm trying to adjust it, and then I just get rid of it, and I move that tree out a little bit. But with them being in Sims, they're not dwarves, and so it's kind of like, okay, well, they sleep in bigger beds, and it just, that you can't fit a whole bunch of big beds in. See, I ended up doing that bush, and I'm like, that looks so much better. And then with the green coming up from the pillars, it looks really good. It looks like it looks like it needs to. I wish it was a little more curved or something, but that's okay. I shrink that and erase it. That one I just deleted because I didn't need it. And now I have a room. I found my happy fit medium there. And so here I'm trying to fix, make room for all the beds. I think I'm able to kind of sort of fit them. It's just, I'm like, there's actually, I think I could put, like a bed along the side. that's still not quite enough. I think that's only like maybe 7 beds, maybe not even 7. Here I'm like, okay, I need more room. And now I have room to put more beds, and then just, I don't, that's where I'm like, okay, that could be Snow's bed. And then I'm looking at it like, okay, this looks horrible. I think they could access it, to be honest, but I just didn't like the way that looked. And I thought that, Snow White needed her own space in the end, and so I give her like I know it's a tiny room, but it's like she's not meant to stay there forever. She's just meant to be there until she finds her prince. So I was like, give her a prettier looking bed, and then just I think I end up putting a wall there and moving the door, because I didn't like how the doors were so close together. And then I thought the wall there would look nice. And then I think I put a dresser. Yeah, I put a bed there, and then I'm able to place a dresser because nobody comes to the end of the bed. And so I'm like, there's perfect space there. You have your dresser, you just find a small enough one. And so that's what I do. And then I think at the end of the first bed there, I put like something where I could have a lamp. But those lights, I end up having to delete those and go with something else, because for some reason Sims can't walk under them. I guess where I have them downstairs, there's enough space, but because it's such a small room, I guess they hang too low or something. I don't know, because all those lights in that room I have to get rid of, and Snow White's room, like, I have to get rid of those. I think I end up going with the Parenthood stuff, because I wanted something to look like maybe they made it, or kind of old-fashioned like that. And so I'm like, well, maybe they took mason jars and made lights out of them. But that's the vibes I'm trying to go with. I want everything to look like they made it, and I wanted them to all have different colors. So I was trying to, like, that's Dobie's bed, it's green, and then I was just trying to go with like the red one is Grumpy's, and then I don't know, after that I was just trying to find colors that I thought would look, make them a little different. And I think they're mostly different styles too, so I don't know. And then I'm just like, okay, I have to add the spider webs and everything because it's so gross. I even wanted to add clothing piles, but I don't know if I do that. I end up, I think it's in gameplay. I end up putting a desk in there because here I'm placing a dresser. I do place one and I shrink it down so there's room and stuff. Like and subscribe.